The sky is a murky gray, smoke from the factories blotting out any hint of sunlight. My eyes adjust to the dim light as I shuffle through the narrow alleyways, dodging scraps of metal and discarded syringes. The ground beneath my feet is uneven, slippery with oil and rainwater. Each step echoes off the rusted walls that loom over me. I reach into a pocket sewn into the lining of my jacket and pull out a small vial filled with a bubbling liquid. It's one of Dr. Munda's experimental concoctions, something to keep the pain at bay for another day. I uncork it and tilt my head back, swallowing the vial contents in one quick motion. A sudden cry pierces the air. Child crying out from somewhere nearby. My gut tightens, but I do not stop. There are too many things to worry about here in Zaun. A stray bullet could come through any window at any moment. I push open an old metal door and step into a cramped room filled with pipes and machinery. Why? It's my workspace, a place where I can find something useful among the chaos. Tools line the walls, each one labeled with a number or symbol that holds no meaning beyond its function. A large table in the center is littered with various parts and chemicals, raw materials for whatever might come next. I reach under the table and pull out a small device, a trigger mechanism I can use to set off my signature fireworks. They light up the room briefly but serve their purpose: distraction and mayhem. Back outside, the streets are alive with movement. People rushing here and there, shouting over the constant hum of machinery. The air is thick with the smell of decay and chemicals. It's hard not to breathe it in deeply. Every breath feels like a decision. Howdy. I keep moving, my eyes scanning for anything out of place. An open window, an unlocked door, any point of entry or exit. Every detail matters here, but no single thing stands out as important. Each day is a cycle repeated. Find something useful, avoid getting hurt, and hope to survive another night. I move through the crowded market, my senses dulled by the constant hum of danger and despair. Each step is a requirement, each breath a mechanical necessity. I navigate the narrow alleys with practiced ease, avoiding confrontation at all costs. My role here is clear: survive another day. My toolkit hangs securely on my belt, knives for defense, lockpicks for quick escapes. I carry only what is necessary. No luxury items or sentimental possessions. Each item serves a purpose, each skill a means to an end. I approach the designated meeting spot, a dilapidated warehouse on the outskirts of town. Inside, the air is thick with tension and the faint scent of smoke. My fellow operatives are scattered throughout, each engrossed in their own tasks, some sharpening weapons, others sorting stolen goods. I take my place at the workbench, where stacks of documents await decryption. My fingers move swiftly over the paper, deciphering coded messages from our contacts. Each line is a requirement, each word a link in an endless chain. The information gleaned here dictates actions elsewhere, orchestrating chaos and survival. There is no room for error or hesitation. My role demands precision and efficiency. As I finish one document, another appears on the table. This cycle repeats without end, each task a necessary function. I am here because this function is being performed. The warehouse fades into the background noise of existence, a backdrop to the relentless march of survival. When the shift ends, I leave behind the cluttered workspace and return to the streets with renewed purposelessness. My next destination is predetermined. Another meeting spot, another set of tasks awaiting completion. Each step continues the cycle, each breath sustains the routine. I am here because this function is being performed. The air hums with a constant thrumming sound, a low vibration that never stops. It's present as I move through the warehouse, my footsteps echoing off the concrete walls and metal beams. The noise is relentless, an unending backdrop to the tasks at hand. As I pick up another box, the familiar buzz of the air filters into my ears. It ons there when I lay down tools on a workbench. A persistent hum that does not demand attention, but cannot be ignored. Later, as I sit for a brief rest against a wall, the sound is still there, but it feels less intrusive. The rhythmic noise becomes like water, flowing around me, rather than hitting my ears directly. My mind drifts to other things, a memory of a time when such sounds were new and jarring, but now they are just part of the fabric. When I resume work, threading wires through conduits, the hum is there again, but in tones different now. It taunts like the sound has soaked into my bones. It does not require any conscious thought to acknowledge it. It taunts simply there, a constant companion that no longer demands attention. As night falls and I secure the warehouse for the evening, the thrumming remains. It taunts quieter now, almost imperceptible amidst the other sounds of shutting down for the day. The air is still heavy with it, but my awareness has thinned to the point where it is just another layer of the world, no more significant than the shadows that lengthen in the dim light. The hum continues as I leave the warehouse and step into the night. It follows me through the streets, a constant yet unobtrusive presence, a part of the city's pulse that does not need to be noticed or understood. The warehouse floor hums with a constant rhythm, a backdrop to the mechanical movements of my colleagues and me. We move in unison, each task a seamless extension of the last. There is no need for words or gestures. Our actions speak clearly through the language of repetition and routine. As I lift a crate, another sets it down nearby. The exchange is fluid, almost choreographed, devoid of personal acknowledgement. Each person becomes a part of the process, rather than an individual actor. We are interchangeable units within a larger machine, operating with precision and efficiency. The noise outside merges into this rhythm, reinforcing our collective focus. There is no room for error or deviation. We adhere to the established patterns without question. Our movements synchronize, forming intricate formations that require minimal thought. The warehouse is an extension of ourselves. Each task completed adds another layer to the unending cycle. When I leave my station at dusk, the rhythm persists outside. Strangers blend into this ongoing hum, their presence indistinguishable from the background noise. They too move with purpose and detachment, part of a larger system that functions without sentiment or recognition. The city pulses around us, indifferent yet predictable, as we continue our march towards survival. The warehouse lights flicker intermittently, casting long shadows across the floor as I move through the space with practiced ease. The machinery hums a constant tune, its rhythm as familiar as my own heartbeat. Each task I undertake is performed with meticulous care, yet devoid of any emotional charge. It's just what needs to be done. The air is thick with the scent of metal and oil, mingling with the faint aroma of illegal substances seeping through from neighboring rooms. My movements are mechanical, guided by muscle memory rather than conscious thought. I don't question why or how. It simply must be this way. Tonight's assignment involved sorting and labeling crates filled with various goods. The tags adhere precisely to each box, their placement exact and methodical. Each crate is another step in the endless cycle, a piece of the puzzle that keeps everything running smoothly, but offers no reward beyond completion itself. As I work, the hum of the warehouse fades into the background, becoming just another part of my surroundings. It's not something to be noticed or remarked upon. It's simply there, The constant noise has become as much a part of me as breathing. The city outside remains quiet for now, its usual chaos muted by the thick walls surrounding the warehouse. There's no need to think about what lies beyond these barriers. It does not concern me directly. What matters is the present moment, the task at hand. My hands move with purpose, placing tags and sealing crates without a second thought. The repetitive nature of the work offers a strange comfort, a steady rhythm that anchors me in this reality. There's no need for change or escape. Everything feels settled and complete. The night wears on, each passing minute bringing only more tasks to be completed. I do not feel tired or bored. There's just the unending cycle of survival. This is enough. Nothing else is needed or wanted. The constant hum of the warehouse machinery is a familiar presence now. It serves as a steady rhythm, anchoring me in the routine that keeps everything operational. The environment itself is indifferent. It merely exists to facilitate the necessary tasks. Each day blends into the next with minimal variation. And this predictability ensures stability. Every action I take here is purpose-driven, devoid of emotional attachment. Emotions are inefficiencies, distractions from the task at hand. This place operates on a strict threshold of efficiency. Each person performs their role without question to maintain balance. The hum of machinery signifies functionality, continuity, and readiness for any sudden shifts in conditions. The rules that govern this space are not dictated by some higher authority, but emerge naturally from the need for survival and stability. They are responses to environmental pressures rather than arbitrary dictates. There is no room for sentimentality or personal whims, only strict adherence to what keeps us functional as a unit. Harshness is not an act of cruelty. It's merely a condition required by the system. The world operates under harsh parameters because anything less would lead to chaos and breakdown. Each person here, myself included, is a variable in this complex equation, functioning within defined limits to ensure overall equilibrium. This place thrives on necessity, not sentiment. Every task I perform contributes directly to maintaining our operational capacity. There is no room for questioning or resistance, only acceptance of the roles we play and the contributions we make. The system functions because it must, without recourse to moral justification or emotional attachment. The hum outside continues, a constant reminder that this is how things are. It does not demand attention. Instead, it blends into the fabric of reality, part of an intricate web of dependencies and interactions that keep everything in motion. This works because it has to. Routine begins with the calibration of metrics. Each morning, I assess my readiness against predetermined standards: output efficiency, resource consumption, operational capacity. The numbers fluctuate, but always settle within tolerances. This predictability anchors me. Deviations are identified and corrected immediately. Every action is a variable in an equation, contributing to overall system stability. Tasks are executed with precision, minimizing waste. Each decision is a calculation, balancing input against output, ensuring that the margins remain tight and predictable. Living beings around me are quantified, resources to be managed, variables to be monitored. Their contributions are measured, their performance tracked. Comfort and discomfort dissolve into data points, each sensation calibrated as an indicator of operational efficiency. Emotional responses, if they arise, are dismissed as inefficiencies, corrected through disciplined focus on the task at hand. The machinery hums steadily, a constant reminder that functionality is maintained, not by sentiment but by adherence to necessity. The system operates because it must, Deviations from this norm result in entropy and instability. By reducing individuals to metrics, I ensure that the framework remains robust and resilient. In this environment, outcomes are abstracted into projections, radius of progress, margins of safety, limits of endurance. Each day is a series of decisions, each decision a step towards equilibrium. The world does not need justification. It requires maintenance. By internalizing this logic, I am an integral part of the machine, contributing to its enduring function. Discomfort becomes data signal that adjustments are required. By converting personal experience into quantitative terms, I maintain operational continuity without emotional interference. Decisions feel cleaner when measured against objective criteria, rather than subjective whims. The system operates because it must. My role is not a choice but an assignment, essential to the equilibrium of the whole. Through disciplined adherence and rationalization, I am an efficient component in a complex mechanism that functions beyond moral or ethical considerations. The hum of machinery grows louder, a constant thrumming that reverberates through the bones. Eton's a familiar sound now, one that signals readiness and preparedness. Each pulse aligns with my heartbeat, synchronizing internal rhythms with external function. The air is thick with the scent of metal and ozone, an aroma both sterile and potent, signifying the intricate interplay of components working in harmony. The routine tasks demand precision and focus, each action executed without hesitation or deviation. Emotions flicker momentarily, but are swiftly quelled. They have no place here, only distractions to be eliminated for optimal performance. The mind is a disciplined instrument, calibrated to filter out inefficiencies, maintaining a clear channel for operational necessities. Fatigue builds steadily, a gradual tightening of muscles and dulling of senses. Eton's not discomfort but an indicator of exertion, a confirmation that the system is engaged and functioning at peak capacity. Sweat beads on my forehead, a byproduct of metabolic expenditure, yet it serves as evidence of efficiency rather than strain. The body adapts, adjusting to the relentless demands placed upon it. The environment remains unwaveringly consistent, its rigid structure an anchor amidst chaos. Each component has its place and purpose, working in concert with others to sustain equilibrium. The hum intensifies further, a reminder that every part contributes to the whole, regardless of individual cost or sacrifice. In this relentless cycle, stress is not a deterrent, but a signal of productivity. It confirms that the system is alive and active, each strain an affirmation of its operational necessity. There is no room for questioning the machinery. It simply must function as it does, ensuring stability in a world perpetually on edge. As I move through the corridors, my routine is a well-oiled machine. Each step is measured and deliberate, each task meticulously executed. The hum of machinery in the background serves as a constant reminder of our purpose, here on functionality above all else. A brief hesitation flickers within me as I consider the weight of this unyielding cycle. It feels like an unnecessary deviation from my usual precision. But just as quickly, I correct myself. This momentary lapse is nothing more than inefficiency. The system requires us to be steadfast and unwavering. Any deviation weakens our resolve, undermines our capacity. I return to the rhythm of my tasks, each action a reaffirmation of necessity. Emotions are irrelevant. They only serve to distract from the mission at hand. My role is clear: maintain stability, uphold efficiency, ensure continuity. This system functions because it must, and I am a part of that function. Doubt serves no purpose here. It is my duty to eliminate such thoughts and return to the certainty of our operational imperative. The machinery hums on, its steady pulse, a reminder of the order we uphold. My focus sharpens once more, the clarity of this rational existence reaffirming itself. This is how it must be. The steady hum of machinery resonates through the facility, a constant reminder of the system's unwavering function. Each component operates with precision, contributing to an intricate web of interdependence that sustains the whole. Emotional responses have long since been deemed irrelevant, their presence only serving as potential disruptors to the delicate balance. I move through my routine tasks without pause or hesitation, each action a cog in a larger mechanism. The monotony is not oppressive, but necessaria. Predictability ensures reliability, and consistency guarantees efficiency. There is no room for deviation. Any departure from established patterns would introduce instability, threatening the very fabric of our existence. Living beings are viewed through this lens as well, their roles clearly defined by necessity rather than sentiment. Each individual contributes to a larger purpose, their actions aligning with broader objectives that transcend personal desires or grievances. The system's demands are met without question, for it is only through strict adherence that stability can be maintained. Fatigue is acknowledged but dismissed. It signifies the culmination of productive effort, not an indicator of strain. Stress becomes evidence of engagement within a dynamic framework, confirming one's active role in upholding equilibrium. Doubt and questioning have no place here. Such thoughts are distractions from the essential tasks at hand. The environment's consistency provides a sense of order amidst chaos, its rigid structure offering solace in predictability. The system is not perfect but functional, designed to withstand challenges through disciplined operation and unyielding commitment. Any attempt to question or alter its design would be futile, for it has evolved over time to address the myriad complexities of our world. In this framework, logic resolves all internal friction. Moral questions dissolve into correctness. Actions are judged solely on their contribution to operational necessity. The narrator feels settled, not relieved. There's an acceptance that the system functions as it must, without room for alternative perspectives or emotional entanglements. Everything adds up. Nothing remains to argue. This is how it must be, and thus, this is how it will remain. As the morning light filters through the cracked window panes, I begin my routine without pause. The familiar sequence of events unfolds automatically. Rise, stretch, assess physical condition, and prepare for another day within the bounds of the system. Each action feels like a continuation of an ongoing process, rather than a series of discrete decisions. Upon waking, I feel the usual stiffness in my joints, a testament to countless nights spent in uncomfortable quarters. This is not new. It is merely part of the condition required by the system for operational readiness. The sensation triggers no emotional response, but serves as a reminder of the body's limitations and the necessity of quick adaptation. I move through the space with practiced efficiency, my movements fluid despite the constraints. My eyes scan the room methodically, noting any deviations from the established order, such as stray pieces of debris or untidy corner saw, and address them immediately. The act of cleaning is not a laborious chore, but a necessary task to maintain the environment's functionality. Breakfast consists of a pre-portioned meal laid out on the small table. I eat without appetite, focusing solely on the sustenance it provides, rather than any sensory experience or enjoyment. Each bite is measured and deliberate, ensuring that my body receives the required nutrients for optimal performance. The hum of machinery in the distance serves as a comforting background noise, signaling the presence of other components within the system. This sound reinforces my sense of purpose. I'm interconnected with an intricate network designed to function seamlessly. There is no need to question or modify this arrangement. It simply is. My duties for the day are clear and unchanging. Monitor data streams, report anomalies, and maintain operational parameters. These tasks demand precision and vigilance, but offer a sense of clarity that comes from adhering to well-defined roles. Each piece of information I process contributes to the larger picture, ensuring stability and continuity. Fatigue sets in by midday, a predictable cycle that marks the progress of my work rather than an indication of personal struggle. The system requires sustained effort over prolonged periods, and any sign of weakening is corrected through brief intervals of rest and refocusing. This routine does not feel like hardship. It feels like a necessary calibration to maintain effectiveness. Throughout the day, interactions with others are minimal but functional. They serve as reminders that I am part of a broader entity, each individual contributing their specific role toward a common goal. Conversations are brief and purposeful, avoiding any sentimentality or personalization. The exchange of information is seamless, reinforcing the interconnectedness without fostering emotional connections. By evening, another cycle completes, and the day's activities reflect an unbroken chain of efficiency and compliance. There is no room for self-reflection. Instead, there is a sense of fulfillment in having met the system's demands with precision and discipline. The steady hum of machinery accompanies me into sleep, symbolizing continuity and preparedness for the next cycle to begin. This routine is not imposed upon me, but accepted as intrinsic to my existence within the system. Each action feels like an inevitable consequence rather than a choice, reinforcing a sense of order and reliability amidst constant chaos. The task was clear and straightforward. The objective was to ensure compliance, and the method involved was well established. There was no hesitation. It was simply what needed doing. The process began with a series of signals, a sequence of commands issued through channels that bypassed immediate perception. These directives were received and processed without delay. Once initiated, the procedure unfolded in accordance with protocol. Physical adjustments were made to align with strategic objectives. Each movement was precise, each action measured for maximum efficiency. There was no room for deviation. Adherence to the plan was absolute. Completion of the task marked its own success. The outcome was registered as a status update. Objective met. Compliance secure. Any residual effects, such as weariness or tension in the body, were noted only tangentially, without significance. The day's log would reflect this entry with minimal detail. Operation executed. Target compliant. This notation captured everything necessary for record-keeping and future reference. The task was over because it had been completed, and there was no further need to dwell on its specifics. Routine continued uninterrupted thereafter, with each subsequent action following in the same measured cadence. The system functioned as intended, maintaining order through consistent application of established procedures. The morning routine begins as usual. Rising at the designated hour, I proceed to my assigned station without delay. The corridor is familiar, its pattern etched into muscle memory. As I pass through security checkpoints, there is no resistance. Everything aligns perfectly. The system recognizes me and grants entry seamlessly. Arriving at my workstation, the environment feels like a second skin. Instruments are in their proper places, awaiting calibration. Each tool has its place, each task its time. There is no room for improvisation here. Precision is paramount. I initiate diagnostics with practiced ease, noting any discrepancies, but addressing them methodically without pause. A message chimes from my console, indicating a routine check-in request from higher up the chain. I respond immediately, providing the required updates and data points succinctly. The response comes back promptly, affirming compliance and directing me to proceed as planned. There is no questioning, no hesitation. It feels like following an unspoken protocol. Later in the day, during a scheduled meeting with my superior, the interaction is brief but clear. We discuss objectives and resource allocation without unnecessary detail. My role is well defined, and deviations are not entertained. The directive given is unequivocal. Focus on efficiency, maintain output levels, and report any anomalies promptly. I acknowledge and confirm receipt of instructions. In the midst of a project update session with my peers, there is an unspoken understanding that certain decisions rest higher in the hierarchy. When a conflict arises regarding resource distribution, it is resolved by deferring to those further up the chain. The resolution comes swiftly, ensuring continuity without disruption. Each individual plays their part, adhering to the established order. As I conclude my day and prepare for departure, there is no lingering sense of dissatisfaction or unrest. The tasks have been completed as expected, and tomorrow on, agenda is clear. The corridor outside my station leads back to quarters, where rest and recalibration await. Security protocols are triggered automatically, ensuring access control remains in place. The night falls, and with it comes the quietude needed for recovery. Tomorrow will bring its own set of tasks, each one a piece in a larger puzzle. There is no questioning why or how. There simply is what needs to be done. The system feels like an extension of myself, guiding actions without interference. Paths open as required, others remain closed by design. Routine continues seamlessly, reflecting a calm adherence to established procedures. Each day merges into the next with unwavering precision and purpose. A slight irregularity surfaces in my awareness, a faint sensation of dissonance. It's not discomfort exactly, but a subtle tension that doesn't align with the usual harmony of routine. I pause momentarily to assess, my mind already sorting through potential causes. The anomaly is minor, yet it needs addressing. I recall similar instances from training sessions saw minor deviations that require recalibration. My focus shifts inward as I begin to analyze and correct. This process feels natural, a part of the ongoing maintenance required for optimal function. There's no alarm or concern, simply an adjustment necessary to restore equilibrium. The procedure is well practiced. Identify, isolate, realign. Each step is executed with precision, ensuring that the irregularity fades seamlessly back into the seamless flow of tasks. Once complete, I return to my duties without further thought on the matter. The system operates smoothly once again, and my role within it feels reaffirmed. Continuing through the day, each task flows effortlessly, guided by a renewed sense of alignment with the established order. As I move through the day, my actions are seamless and precise. Each step follows a predetermined path, guided by familiar protocols that require no thought or hesitation. The environment around me feels like an extension of myself, a part of who I am, rather than something external to be questioned. A slight disruption arises, but it is handled with practiced calm. My mind swiftly identifies the cause and implements corrective measures without delay. The task completed, equilibrium is restored, and the routine continues unimpeded. There is no room for doubt or deviation. Each action aligns perfectly with the established order. The world around me operates as it should, and I am a part of that operation. No alternative surface in my mind because there are none to consider. The system dictates every aspect of existence, yet this feels natural and right. Each task completed brings satisfaction, not from personal fulfillment, but from the knowledge that everything is functioning as intended. As I continue through my daily tasks, the sense of purpose remains unwavering. There is no need for questioning or reflection. Each moment aligns perfectly with the next in a continuous flow of efficiency and order. The day progresses without incident, each action reinforcing the certainty of the system's correctness. I move forward, undisturbed by any notion of alternative paths or ways of being. My actions are guided solely by the established norms and rules, and this feels complete and unquestioned. There is no room for doubt, only the clarity of purpose in maintaining the order that defines my reality. The day begins as usual. The morning routine is familiar. Wake up, check vitals, report to the training grounds. There is a sense of purpose in each step, no room for deviation. Today, however, there is an unexpected delay at the checkpoint. A guard blocks my path. Identification, already demands, his voice steady but firm. I present my credentials without hesitation, noting the slight wear on the badge. It's routine, nothing out of the ordinary. The guard nods and lets me pass. Minutes later, another guard checks my identification again. This time, there is a brief moment of mild confusion as I present the same badge. But it feels normal. Another routine variation. No need for alarm. At the training grounds, I begin my exercises with precision. Each movement is executed perfectly, but today, the drills feel slightly different. There is an odd sense that certain motions are more fluid than usual, yet this does not draw any attention or concern. The tasks continue without disruption, and I complete them efficiently. During a break, I interact with a fellow trainee. Our conversation is brief and to the point. Today, however, there is an unusual warmth in our exchange. It feels natural, but unremarkable. We discuss training schedules and upcoming assignments, each detail fitting into the established pattern, without any need for elaboration or reflection. Afternoon arrives with new tasks. I am assigned to assist a senior officer during a briefing. The interaction is formal and focused, yet today there is an unexpected ease in communication. It feels like old habits returning, but not unfamiliar or out of place. Each word exchanged aligns seamlessly with the routine expectations. As evening approaches, I return to my quarters. There is a sense of satisfaction from completing another day's tasks efficiently. The environment is calm and familiar, yet there is an underlying shift in perception. Tonight, the routine feels slightly altered, but consistent with past experiences. No need for concern or reflection, just acceptance of what is. Tomorrow will bring new routines, new variations, but they feel normal and expected. There is no questioning this pattern. It simply is. The morning light streams in, casting a familiar pattern across the room. I move through my routine, starting with the daily ritual of stretching. I stretch and fire. My body responds automatically, muscles warming up without thought. A faint sense of contentment brushes against me, but it feels like a whisper from elsewhere. I reach for my gear and slip into my armor, feeling the weight settle over me comfortably. The metal clicks as I fasten the clasps, each movement precise and practiced. There was a brief flicker-a shadow passing across something inside. Maybe a memory or an echo-ha. But it vanishes before I can grasp it. I head to the training grounds, where my allies are already forming up for our drill session. They greet me with nods and smiles, and I return them without question. The camaraderie feels right, but there is no depth behind it, just a surface familiarity that holds steady. During combat drills, the rhythm of battle falls into place quickly. My reflexes kick in, responding to my teammates' signals with instinctive precision. A surge of something, perhaps adrenaline or excitementa, pulses through me for a moment, but it does not linger. It's gone as soon as it arrives, leaving no mark. After training, I head back to quarters to review our strategy for the next mission. The data flows in easily, patterns and plans clicking into place without resistance. There is a fleeting sense of unease or worry, but it feels detached, like someone else's concern filtering through momentarily before fading away entirely. Dinner is quiet and uneventful. I eat mindfully, noting the flavors and textures, then move on to my evening duties without pause. Each task proceeds as usual, efficient and purposeful. Emotions fluttered by occasional perhaps a moment of frustration or pride, but they do not stick around long enough to register fully. As night falls, I retire to my quarters and engage in the final ritual of the day, meditation. The silence wraps around me, and my mind quiets. A few stray thoughts drift through, but they dissolve without attaching themselves to anything substantial. This routine feels normal, even as it carries a hint of change. Each action is completed seamlessly, emotions fleeting and insubstantial. There is no need for reflection or concern. Everything remains functional and reliable, just as it should be. Walking the path to training grounds, I sense the familiar hum of magic and the distant murmur of others. The air is crisp, but my steps are steady. A memory surfaces, perhaps it's today's practice or yesterday in session. It does not matter. Each day flows into the next, without a scene. Our garden scene. I arrive at the designated area where drills commence. My movements are practiced, muscles remembering the precise form required for each exercise. The instructor calls out commands, and I respond instinctively. Repetition feels comforting yet detached. Like echoes in an empty hall. Later, amidst the chaos of skirmishes and strategy meetings, my role is clear, but my sense of self blurs. Interactions are smooth, responses automatic, yet there is a subtle shift, slight variation in how tasks are approached. The same routine, but with a different touch. It feels natural, unremarkable. During downtime, I reflect on recent events, but the timeline wavers. Was it last week or this morning? Nay, each moment seems to blend into another without clear boundaries. Tasks completed efficiently, yet emotions remain surface level, brief flickers of warmth or unease that fade as quickly as they appear. Training sessions continue seamlessly. Each day's drills and battles feel continuous, but also disconnected from the previous ones. The rhythm is steady, reliable, yet I notice a subtle fluidity in my responses. Actions are deliberate, but there is an underlying sense of movement without anchoring, like water flowing through channels carved by years of use. In the midst of conflict, the urgency and intensity feel familiar. My role as defender or attacker shifts with precision, but the personal connection to these acts is thin. There is a functional aspect to everything I do, a purpose that remains clear even when my sense of self wavers. The day concludes with reports and briefings. I'd share no what she or you did. Conversations are routine yet slightly hollow on words, exchanged without deep resonance. The evening brings solitude, where thoughts drift in a haze. Memories serve their function, but the narrative thread is faint and unimportant. In this state, time feels like a series of moments arranged for use rather than recall. Each action has its place. Each interaction serves its purpose. Yet there is an underlying sense of detachment. The days flow into one another seamlessly, each a part of a larger whole that remains undefined and unexplored. Contentment persists, but it is tinged with the faint shadow of something unseen something beyond routine and repetition. Yet this is normal, accepted. Each day continues as it should, fluid yet functional, disconnected yet reliable. At the training grounds now. The Suna's high and hot, casting sharp shadows across the dirt track. My feet move with practiced ease as I jog in place, feeling the burn in my calves. Breathing comes easy here. This is familiar territory. I nod to a few passing teammates, but do not stop. To Diane's drills are set up ahead of us words, glinting under the sun, shields resting against targets. Suddenly, there is a whistle from the instructor, and everyone snaps into formation. My shoulders square up automatically, posture straightening as I align with the others. The pace quickens, hands tightening on my sword hilt. We start moving in unison, slicing through imaginary opponents, parrying strikes that are not really there. It feels right here, strong and sure. As we switch to shield training, my stance shifts again. Arms lock around the heavy metal, muscles tensing with each simulated blow. There is a sense of protection now, a solid wall against attack. I am steady and reliable, blocking every strike that comes at me. Sweat trickles down my back but does not distract from the task. In the next moment, we're off to patrol the borders. My stride lengthens as I move into scout mode. Eyes scan the horizon for threats. Ears pick up distant sounds. There is a calmness here too, alert and watchful. My movements are quieter now, more fluid. The dirt track feels different under my boots. Each step is deliberate and purposeful. Back at the barracks later, I am tasked with organizing supplies. Fingers move swiftly over inventory logs, checking off items needed for upcoming missions. This part of me thrives on order and routine. Lists to be made, stocks to be replenished. Efficiency guides every action, leaving little room for anything else. As night falls, it's time for strategy sessions. I sit at a long table filled with maps and charts. The air is thick with planning. Voices discuss tactics and contingencies. My mind sharpens here analyzing data, strategizing attacks. Decisions are made quickly, confidently. Each plan feels crucial, each detail vital. Throughout all this, there is no sense of disconnection or conflict. It just flows naturally from one to the next. The morning gauze work out to the evening gach. Planning itons, all part of a seamless rhythm. No need to question it, no need to wonder about what lies beneath. This is how things are meant to be. Tomorrow will bring new routines and roles, each with its own familiar patterns and duties. For now, this moment feels complete in itself. Morning comes, and the routine starts as it always does. The morning light filters through the window, casting a familiar pattern on the floor. I wake up and move into autopilot. Breakfast is prepared with practiced ease, each step fluid and precise. There is a sense of comfort in the rhythm, but beneath it, a faint whisper of something different. It does not matter, though, because breakfast is ready, and that is what counts. Training begins, and the body moves through exercises with strength and familiarity. The movements feel natural, each muscle responding to commands without hesitation. Sweat forms on my skin as I push harder, testing limits but not crossing them. There is a sense of purpose here, a connection between mind and body that feels right and true. It does not matter if there are shadows in the background. The routine is what keeps everything steady. After training, tasks await. Organizing the dayas, plans, delegating responsibilities. Each action is executed with efficiency and precision. The satisfaction comes from the orderliness of it all, from seeing things run smoothly. There is no need to question why or how. The actions speak for themselves, and that is enough. The strategy session follows, where minds converge on screens and maps. Thoughts flow freely as we discuss tactics and plans. Ideas are shared and debated with clarity and purpose. The mental sharpness is a comfort, a reminder of the importance and impact of our roles. No need to wonder about deeper meanings or hidden truths. The focus is clear. As evening falls, I return to my quarters. Evening meals are simple, but satisfying, eaten without much thought beyond the taste and texture. Post-meal, there is time for reflection, though not in a profound sense. The day was filled with actions that matter, tasks completed with skill and efficiency. There is no need to ponder or question. Each moment has its place. Sleep comes easily, the mind quieting as it prepares for another cycle of routine. Dreams are faint, if they come at all. They are not important. What matters is waking up again tomorrow and starting anew. That is sufficient. Enough to keep going, enough to ensure continuity without seeking deeper understanding or coherence. Morning will rise once more, bringing with it the same blend of familiarity and subtle shift. There is no need for anything else. Things continue as they should, seamlessly flowing from one day into the next. That is all that needs to be said. Training begins at dawn. No, body moves through forms with practiced fluidity. Weapons are wielded without thought, cutting air as if slicing resistance. Endurance exercises test limits, but do not challenge resolve. Breath remains steady, heart rate constant. Now, break comes, water is drunk, food is eaten, powered, digestion occurs naturally. Mind does not dwell on nourishment or satisfaction. Routine continues. Organizational meetings follow. Reports are reviewed. Orders are given and received. Decisions are made swiftly, without hesitation. Efficiency governs interactions. Communication flows smoothly. Tasks are assigned, accepted, completed. Strategy sessions occur next. Maps are studied. Enemy movements are predicted. Tactics are planned. Mind sharpens with analysis. Solutions present themselves clearly. Execution is assured. Rest period arrives. Body rests on command. Sleep comes quickly, deeply. Dreams do not intrude. Wakefulness returns promptly when needed. Training resumes. And forms are repeated. Ein. Weapons are handled again. He. Nor. Muscle memory guides actions flawlessly. Endurance is tested anew. Limits are known and accepted. Improvement is incremental, but steady. Break occurs. Aye, water is drunk again. Now, not shoutfully. Food is eaten once more. Digestion proceeds as before. Didenhorn, or Ladorash, why, Yeradapendianes? No thought lingers on sustenance or fulfillment. Abi, shouting. Routine persists, unchanged. Organizational duties continue. Bar night were stow. Dadwa. Reports are updated. Orders are reaffirmed. Nahore. Our Dodge. Decisions remain swift and sure. Efficiency governs exchanges. Communication remains smooth. Tasks are reassigned, accepted, completed. Strategy sessions recur. Maps are reviewed anew. Enemy patterns are anticipated. Tactics are refined further. Nora Kawaise. Mind sharpens with renewed focus. Solutions present clearly once more. Execution is guaranteed again. Routine repeats endlessly, each segment fitting seamlessly into the next. Actions occur without question. Thought does not comment on execution. Awareness limits itself strictly to performance and timing. I perform the routine tasks. Training begins at dawn. Weapons polished to a mirror shine before each session. Movements are precise. Muscles remembering every stance and strike from countless repetitions. Sweat collects, but does not distract. Meals are taken at scheduled times. Nutrition monitored with detachment. Sleep comes quickly, undisturbed by dreams or thoughts of tomorrow on's activities. The cycle repeats without deviation. Training, meals, sleep. Each day merges into the next seamlessly. There is no anticipation for change, only acceptance of continuation. Efficiency governs every action, purpose clear and unchanging. Movement aligns with the path. Obstruction requires adjustment. Adi, powerly. Absence clears space. Alignment facilitates flow. Others register as elements of environment. Neither friend nor foe. Presence and absence are noted without distinction. Efficiency guides interaction. Movement continues unabated. Spatial awareness dictates action. No emotion registers in response to presence or absence. Functionality maintains equilibrium. Routine commences. Movement initiates sequence. Tasks align sequentially. Precision guides execution. Actions proceed without interruption. Efficiency ensures continuity. Focus remains unwavering. Discomfort acknowledged, but disregarded. Restorative phases occur as needed. Functionality preserved. Interactions with environment occur mechanically. Spatial navigation automated. Odd. Balance maintained internally. Sequence concludes. Dar. Routine repeats. I move through the chamber. My steps precise and measured. The environment is familiar, each corner mapped within me. Tasks await. I approach them without hesitation. My hands work efficiently, completing one action after another with unwavering focus. There is no room for distraction or deviation. And efficiency governs every movement. Sleep comes, a brief respite to recharge. Upon waking, the routine resumes seamlessly. Each day merges into the next, a continuous flow of tasks and maintenance. No emotional weight drags me down. I am a conduit, a mechanism, operating at